Don't think you're conscious. Don't think God don't be talking to you too. God be all up in your ears, ladies and gentlemen, telling you to do what's right. And then the devil be in the other ear, amen, telling you to do what's wrong. And then the first thing, and the sad part about it is, when the devil tells us to do something, the first thing that we say, well, God told me to do this and do that. We'll blame everything on God. Soon as we hear one little voice, oh, God told me to do this. Oh, God told me to do that. And don't act like we ain't done that. Amen. And soon as you think that God has spoke to you and told you to do this and told you to do that, watch this. And then now you don't put yourself in a deeper rut. Because number one, remember what the Bible said, you got to test that spirit. Right. See, that's what that young man was supposed to do. That young man was supposed to test that spirit. Because the spirit that was sitting on this side was lining up with what God said. But the spirit that was sitting on the other side said, you know what, forget that. Forget that. Don't even listen to him. You make sure you do what's best for your family. He didn't say do what's best for God. He said for his family. Because you know what God said? He said, first of all, the first thing that we need to do is keep our mind focused on what's above. If we keep our mind focused on what's above, guess what? God said everything else will be added unto you. So therefore, he'll take care of your family. He'll take care of your wife. He'll take care of the kids. So what, your lights get cut off? So what, your gas get cut off? So what, your water get cut off? Don't act like this stuff ain't happened to you before. Your lights has been cut off. Your water has been cut off. And your gas has been cut off. And don't get me wrong, your phone been cut off too. So don't act like this is new. So just listen to God. That's all. Just listen to God. Because that's all God's going to tell you. Hey, it's okay. Because I'm going to tell you something. You can talk to some of these older people. They'll tell you back in the day they didn't have no electricity. You know what they had? Kerosene lamps. Amen. See, back in the day they didn't have no central air and heat. You know what the air was? Raise the window up. Amen. See, back in the day there was no running water in the house. You know what the water was? Outside at the well. So don't act like that you can't survive without running water. Oh, trust me, you can find some water. Your neighbor next door, his water's still on. You just go get a bucket and you're going to take care of your business. I mean, he don't mind. You need some lights? Amen. You go get a kerosene and you put some lights in your house. I mean, it's all about being obedient to God, ladies and gentlemen. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And last but not least, not only was it precious on it, but not only did he isolate himself from God, but watch this. God said, he told Saul, he said, because of what you did, guess what? Because of what you did, your kingdom will not be established. This young man, if he just would have listened to God, he would have had a better job. He would have had benefits, and he would have gotten paid more on the bonus. If he just would have listened, if he just would have followed God's will, but he didn't. His wife came up, didn't even listen to the answering machine. She just thought it was a bill collected and deleted it. But if she would have just listened to it, ladies and gentlemen, but he had already made his decision to follow the devil. See, God would have made a way. See, if his mind was made up and he had faith and he trusted in God, it would have been a whole different story. That girl wouldn't even came up and deleted it. She probably would have came up while he was still speaking. You see what I'm saying? But God had already set it up, ladies and gentlemen, for him to have that job. God did what he said said you was going to do. Because he's faithful like that. But it's because of our unfaithfulness the reason why we're not succeeded like we're supposed to. So God, I want to tell you today, the lack of faith has to go out the window. It's time to start trusting in God. It's time to start believing in God. It's time to start having faith in God. It's time to start listening to God more, ladies and gentlemen. And stop putting them on the background. Let's stop doing God like that. Let's stop listening to the devil. Let's start listening to our Father which is in heaven. Let's start trusting in Him. When He said that, He will supply clothes on your back, He will supply food on your table, He will supply a roof over your head. Ladies and gentlemen, let's believe that. Let's trust God. And in the end, the kingdom will be yours. And you will see that marvelous kingdom one day. When you walk through those pearly gates and you see those gold streets that's transparent, amen. He said one day you're going to see that river flowing of water. You're going to see that river of life. It's going to be flowing right there. And guess what? You're going to be able to drink from it. All you need to do is just believe and trust in God. So today, as I end today, I want to let everybody know obedience is better than sacrifice. Amen.